Chemical junkies. When I started out with school and I didn't have any idea about how to fund stuff, how to work and go to classes and study, I took anatomy and physiology and quit the class as fast as the instructor said, well, you're going to need to study about 40 hours a week. And then decided just to keep going with being an English teacher in a public school. And then I graduated with my undergraduate in English literature. Didn't have the stamina to be a feminist PhD scholar candidate. And had a diagnosis of cancer, chordoma. And now I receive Social Security disability insurance. I don't have a job, but I get a good monthly check. I eat well and am stronger than I was in college. I don't have the gym membership I did. I don't have all the protein powders and the creatines and the supplements, but I've got a freaking dang good sense of direction from being an apprentice at Paymacarpo with Rigson, Tinke, and studying shamanism and studying Tibetan Buddhism. And I never really wanted to be a doctor for the simple reason how much gosh darn work, how fast, how quick, how little extra time there would be to look outside and see a nice sun setting, to wake up early and see a sunrise and just sit on the porch. And especially, I wasn't prepared to be trying to go to surgery school. I wasn't prepared for the weight on a person's shoulders. They used to call it lollygagging in the old day, lollygagging and playing psychedelic adventure journeyer. And kids have cancer, kids have brain tumors, kids need plans for treatment. Children need doctors who can help them, not only with removal, but recovery. And I'm almost at a loss of words now. At how simple people have disregarded my dreams and my goals and my aspirations for what they see in front of their face and hear through their ears. And folks and people disregard wanting to go to medical school and dismiss nearly 10 years I've spent learning about the brain, the mind, and the body. Not to go make money. Not to get rich. And now, there's this kind of chemical excitement and this thrill and fun socially getting up to speed with me. Just showing up at the same time on accident, boozed up, titted up, big old breasts, all fluffy and fat, and that big old dick with that young pretty girl. The same chemicals from nutrition, health, wellness, eating good, not starting some conspiracy theory that everyone is connected consciously, that there is this invisible light beaming to each part of the earth, and it's like a grid, it's a matrix. They used to call it journeying at the shop. We get people from ayahuasca, from shamans in Peru come in just brain dead relaxed. A lot like someone who's depressed taking an antidepressant like Zoloft. But I'm being pushed and I'm being pushed and I'm being shoved aside for my recognition of the door knocking, the hallway chit chat during the coronavirus pandemic, everybody going along outside, just laughing and cheering in the streets with each other. And have a hard time because I'm mildly autistic. And deep down, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be anyone. I just want to be left alone, be humble, and die peacefully. The chemical sharing, people on Zoloft, people on Prozac or whatever they're on. Maybe something stronger. Maybe something not as strong. Learn how to get each other's chemicals moving and, like neurons. Except they're not doing neuron activity. They're doing chemicals flowing in the blood. Not the energy transferred from neuron to neuron through synapses, axon, dendrite, anatomy and physiology. They're using tone of voice, they're using language, they're using gesture and body with behavior to get arousal, to get the happiness. And nowhere do I smell, nowhere in Seattle, Washington do I smell the kitchen where someone has figured out dopamine, someone's figured out norepinephrine, where someone's figured out serotonin. And they're so thrilled that they want to have dinners with friends, they want to have a glass of wine, they want to have a cup of coffee to share because they've accomplished a goal or a task and they feel successful. And they don't want to share the interaction chemicals. They want to eat good, they want to drink a lot of wine or beer or whatever, some tea, some coffee, and once in a while plain old water. And have good conversation. But walking around with the service animal, walking around with the person from another floor of a building, not only in this apartment building with this mental health organization and people who listen through walls, people who talk through walls, people who communicate across an object for satisfaction, safety, and to reduce paranoia and to gain some sort of benefit. Downtown, they've got these mega social apartment buildings for $2,000 a month where they proclaim ecstasy. Everybody loves one another. Multicultural equality everywhere. They go to work, more chemical sharing, more Google, more Amazon, more free food, more eye contact, more face recognition, more social togetherness. And these examples remind me of the old days when you'd sit by the pool for like 4 days in Arizona and you get too tan, and then you'd have to take some days off because you just don't want any more vitamin D. You can get more sunburn, but your vitamin D levels are freaking out of control. And everybody's been talking and having fun, so, we go home and rest. Take a, relaxation. But the poolside was more of a gathering. More of people who knew each other and liked to be around each other, hanging out. Not passing in the hall and giving some warm and fuzzy feelings with some sweetness and some strength, with some security in the building by the smoking man. My gosh, you can't even walk around with a flashlight anymore because the woman with the service animal will stop you. She is so secure, she's so safe because that freaking animal has got eyes from a place nobody can describe. And there's a woman over there who knows what everybody thinks in their head. Good gosh, man. 10 years of research, I would have shut down everything. I would have went back to the woods in Bellingham. Made friends with some animals. Been Dr. Shaman, Civilian Rigby. But the brain doesn't have some sort of imaginary force field that neuroscience has decided upon so far. But what will always be known with humans has to do with consciousness, has to do with blood, has to do with what goes in the blood, what happens with consciousness. There may be some quantum waves, there may be quantum light coming out of a fixture and you're just totally fixated. But these are natural processes, events, happenings, excitement. Consciousness, the brain, or the mind, or the body. And what the body, what the mind, what the brain see, hear, taste, and feel with hands when hands touch. Imagination can make a person think they're a United States Navy SEAL. Until they get to BUD/S and the Master Chief says, go home. You're going to get arrested. You can't just play video games and show up. Kind of like chemicals. You can't just enjoy chemicals and claim to know all there is that needs to get known and live a happy, healthy life.